Macro the Science Bro.
Macro Science Bro.
Macro the Science Bro.
Hello, boys and girls. I am Dr. Macro, here to answer the most important science questions. Today's big question that I get a lot of people asking: what is the Thing made of? The Thing, one of the 4 members of the Fantastic Four, completely covered in rocks. But what kind of rocks? This here is a typical rock, but if you look at the Thing, not very typical. Is it igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic? It's actually not a rock at all. According to the Marvel Ultimate Comics, the Thing's rock-like exterior is actually a cocoon, hiding his true form. I'm not kidding. I guess you could say that science kind of rocks.
Macro the Science Bro.
Now, here's the thing.
The Thing is the newest tank added to Marvel Rivals, and the final member of the Fantastic Four in this game. Before we start learning how to clobber, let's quickly explain his backstory. The Thing's real name is Ben Grimm. He grew up in New York, specifically Yancey Street, with a thick New York accent. Ben grew up pretty poor, and his older brother Danny unfortunately died from gang violence when Ben was just 8, so his life was kinda rough. At one point he even ran the Yancey Street gang, but thankfully he was so good at sports and got a full ride to college because of it, where he met his lifelong best friend, Reed Richards. Ben eventually joined the military as a pilot and later became an astronaut. And if you watched my last couple videos on the Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic, then you know the Fantastic Four backstory. They go to space and accidentally get their powers, yada yada, you get it. And Ben Grimm became all rocks, calling himself the Thing, which is because Sue called him that one time, and it's kind of messed up, but that's his name origin. So while the Thing is super strong and covered in rocks, Ben Grimm has always had trouble accepting himself in this form, with multiple different comic runs having him go back to his human form because that's all he really wants. Somehow though, every time he gets his powers back for some convoluted reason. It's also why Ben rocks around in this huge trench coat, because he doesn't want people to see what he looks like, but also because he looks cool as hell in the trench coat outfit. It's so clean. Eventually he helps learn to accept his form when he falls in love with the blind sculptor Alicia Masters, and she loves him back. It's wholesome, and he's so dedicated. Not even a baddie like She-Hulk can get him to betray Alicia.
Let me guess, big boy, you're the Thing.
Yeah, well, I'm Ben, Mr. Grimm. Hey, listen, I already got a girlfriend.
So if the Thing can find love, what's stopping you? Exactly. But together with the Fantastic Four, he fights off many of their villains, including Dr. Doom, and he occasionally runs into conflicts with other big boys of Marvel, like the Hulk. He's one of the few characters that can sort of go toe-to-toe with the Hulk. So that's honestly a good way to understand how strong the Thing is. And with the new Fantastic Four movie coming out, he's going to be played by none other than Cousin from The Bear, and I think he looks pretty good. So now that you know who the Thing is, it's clobbering time, shall we? The Thing is a brawler vanguard, similar to the Hulk, so he doesn't have a weapon, he just has his fists, which are legally considered weapons in 7 states and 41 countries, by the way. So his primary attack is Rocky Jab. It's literally just him punching, and every one of his punches does 40 damage per hit. And while these jabs are strong, you're always going to be pairing it with his secondary fire, the Stone Haymaker. This is one really strong punch that does 90 damage, and actually has a decent range of 8 meters. And every time you use it, you gain 50 bonus health during the activation. So for the most part, you're gonna want to spam the Stone Haymaker. It does significantly more damage, it can hit multiple people at once, and it actually has range, unlike your Rocky Jab. If anything, you're using the Stone Haymaker as like the primary fire, and the Rocky Jab to just finish off a kill. So getting used to using both of them in tandem with each other is gonna make your damage output really good. And landing the final blow with the Stone Haymaker is so satisfying. The only downside is that you have no verticality whatsoever with any of these attacks, so you're not really the counter to the Human Torch or Storm. You'll just awkwardly be punching up in the air. Before we get to his abilities, the Thing does have a passive ability called Unyielding Will, which makes the Thing immune to launch ups, knockback, and other displacement effects, because he's made of rocks and is just stupid heavy. So this essentially means you can never really get booped. And during the pro tip section, I'll explain which abilities you're completely immune to. But I think most noobs will immediately notice that Jeff the Shark can't yeet you off the map.
I could probably use this.
I mean, he can if he's like positioned perfectly, but for the most part, you're kind of safe from Jeff. His first ability is Yancey Street Charge. Here, the thing will charge forward and then slam the floor whenever you want to, launching up enemies and leaving behind a zone that prevents enemies from using mobility abilities. When you use this, you gain 200 bonus health, and you're pretty much immune to anything that would normally immobilize you, which can be really clutch because you can just completely ignore enemy ultimates, including other thing ultimates. This slam ability is honestly really great for launching up an enemy and then just smacking them in the face. It can set you up for a really nice kill. And it's one of your main tanking mobility abilities. So when you're trying to survive and get back to your team, you should be using the Yancey Street Charge to do that.
Only 60 seconds left.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Come on. Oh, I'm alive. Thank you so much, Loki. But his main tanking ability is actually the Embattled Leap. This ability allows you to jump towards your ally and apply damage reduction to both of you, which is in the form of these like spinning rocks. I've never seen the thing do this in the comics, but it kind of fits for this game. You can jump towards any of your teammates within a radius of 20 meters. And you have multiple charges of this, so you can use this as a way to just leap in, to protect your teammate, punch a little bit, and then leap out. The 30% damage reduction that it applies is just the right amount of damage reduction to save your teammates' lives, and even yourself in a pinch. It's also the only way for the thing to have any vertical mobility, so if you want to get up on a high ground, you gotta just look up towards a teammate and you'll fly up there. But seriously, this ability is what allows the thing to truly just survive for a long time. And when you combine it with the Yancey Street Charge, you really do become a tank. Just make sure when you're using this shield ability and diving in on enemies that you have teammates nearby to dive out with, because if you don't got anybody around you, you're kind of a sitting duck. You noob. And now we have his ultimate, Clobbering Time, which is named after his very iconic catchphrase. And when the voice actor says it in this game, he kind of cooks.
It's clobbering time!
This ultimate has the thing launch up all enemies in front of him into the air and also stuns anybody hit, dealing 100 damage as well. This seems awfully familiar. I just can't put my finger on it. This earth-shattering effect is one of the strongest ultimates in this game when used correctly. This ultimate itself will not be the thing that kills a bunch of enemies, but when you time it right and hit multiple enemies, your team can clean up. And when you pair this ultimate with other ultimates like Spider-Man or the Human Torch, you'll just rack up tons of kills. Oh my god, it's a big one, let's go! But sometimes you just land the perfect ultimate and you, as the thing, can just kill everybody. Especially when you combine it with all of his other abilities. Yeah, the thing, he rocks. What? Oh, come on, that was great. I've studied the thing scientifically, so you know I'm an expert, so listen to these pro tips. Number 1, the thing has 2 main team-up abilities. The first one is the same one that every single Fantastic Four member gets with the Invisible Woman. It just gives you this extra shielding ability, which is even better for your character like the thing, because anything that makes you tankier is just gonna make your job even easier. But his second team-up ability is called Cosmic Fastball, and this is the same team-up ability that the Hulk has with Wolverine. You as the thing can also take Wolverine and just yeet him at an enemy. Now, this isn't necessarily the most useful team up, but it is fun as hell.
Just what we needed, a sniper.
Let's go! Number 2, I highly recommend going to the thing's settings and clicking on hold to dash. This will make it so that the Yancey Street Charge can be instantly used in a pinch, because otherwise you have to click shift and then click it again to just immediately activate it. When you're using it this way, you just have to click it once and then boom, you're slamming down. And this in the middle of a fight is very important. That extra second you get can be the difference between life and death. You'll just have to practice getting used to holding it down, but it's not that hard, you noob. Number 3, The Thing, in my opinion, is not the greatest solo tank. He plays better as an off tank, helping out a more traditional tank with just the raw damage output and diving capabilities he can have. So he does end up pairing well with most dive characters, like Venom and Spider-Man, but he also pairs very well with tanks like Magneto. Magneto giving him the ability to be bubbled and just go in and bully people for free. Now, in terms of characters that I think The Thing counters, I feel like The Thing fully destroys Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange's main way of defending himself is with the shield, and your fists do not care about that shield. So if you're a Doctor Strange main and a Thing is giving you trouble, you might want to switch because you're about to get the Stone Haymaker to the face again and again and again! Number 4. Here are all the abilities that the Thing's passive is completely immune to. Enjoy. So here's the thing. That will be the last time I do that joke because it is the most overused joke now. It was funny the first couple times, but then after I made that video that was like, the Human Torch is amazing, but here's the thing. There's like 6,000 other videos that have the same exact titling. We're done with the joke. But here's the thing. The Thing genuinely surprised me in this game. I was scared that he would play too much like the Hulk, but he actually plays significantly different than the Hulk, which is a good thing. I think the Marvel Rival developers have been very creative with these characters that you would think would be very similar. I like his voice acting, I like his design, and I like him in a trench coat. Who doesn't? But how is he for noobs? For noobs, I would honestly say that he is very easy to play. Most noobs will get a ton of value off the Thing. They just need to make sure they're not using him all the time because like I said, I don't think he can solo tank that well, but with another tank, the Thing is a beast. But what do you think? Do you think the Thing is easy to play or hard to play? Do you think he's underpowered and needs buffs or overpowered and needs nerfs? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, as usual, let me know which hero you want me to make a video on next. Type that hero for noobs and the most popular ones will become the next video. I'll catch you later. Ya noob.